Hey
Ahoy there,
everyone!
friends!
Today we're
Come
going to
aboard
train a
and make
LoRA based
yourselves
on the
comfortable.
LTX 2.3
This
video
is Captain
generation model.
Elias Gray,
I'll be using
welcoming
RunPod,
you to
where you can
another
rent a very
voyage
powerful
of
machine for a reasonable
stories from
price.
the seven
But if you have
seas.
enough VRAM on
Even
your
at night,
GPU,
the
you can do
sea
the
has
exact
its
same thing
stories.
locally. At the end of this
Come closer,
tutorial,
friends.
I'll briefly show
Let
you
me
how to
tell you what
install AI
happened
Toolkit
under
on
these
your own
very
computer to train
stars
it
many
locally.
years ago.
By the end of the
These
training,
lines on the
I hope to
chart,
get a finished
they
LoRA
don't
that can
just show the
consistently
way.
reproduce the character's
They
appearance,
remember every
voice,
storm,
intonation,
every lost
mannerisms, and
ship,
environment.
and every sailor who made it through.
For
There's
example, I
nothing
want to
better
create
than
a
a
series of
quiet
travel shows.
moment and
And
a
with my
good
own
story.
LoRA, the character will be able to
Let me
talk to the
tell you
camera for
now that
hours,
all
delivering whatever
rooms
text I
night
want as
there's
the host.
nothing better than a quiet moment and
To
a good
avoid violating
story.
anyone's copyright on
Let me tell
appearance,
you one
I
that
decided to create
always
my own
warms
character from
my
scratch.
heart.
Let's make him an old
All these
sailor,
years at
a real
sea,
sea wolf who's
and
been
the
through
best
countless
treasures
adventures in his
were
life.
never gold. They were the
First, using Flux.2, I generated this charming elderly gentleman. I really liked his kind smile and positive vibe. All the workflows I used to create the Sailor dataset are available for download on my page. They're behind a membership. This helps support the channel. I think this sailor has been through many storms in his life, but he hasn't lost his optimism or sense of humor, and he definitely knows tons of breathtaking stories. So now I have the character, and I need to generate several reference shots to create video clips from them. I need to show different emotions, gestures, and use several locations. Night broadcast version, close-up. With glasses and holding a map. Thoughtful, calm smile. I hope this will be enough for a minimal LoRA training. Then I upscaled these images for better quality. Next, using 11 Labs, I found a suitable voice with a nice rasp. Here you can enable filters with the parameters you need. And I ran a test generation. The words in square brackets are tags that help set the right mood and emotion.
This is Captain Elias Gray, welcoming you to another voyage of stories from the seven seas.
After downloading, the audio needs some post-processing. 11 Labs saves the audio as mono, but the model needs stereo audio. So I simply re-rendered the track in Reaper. Now the audio has 2 channels. Now I have the image and the matching audio file.
Ahoy there, friends! Come aboard and make yourselves comfortable.
Next, using LTX 2.3, I generated the video clips that I'll use as my dataset. In the previous lesson, I showed how to attach external audio. You can watch it here, link above. I made the clips in pretty high resolution, so all the details would be clearly visible. But for LoRA training, I'll downscale them to 960 by 544 pixels to save RAM and reduce training time. The good details should still be preserved. For LTX 2.3. LoRA training, it's important that both width and height are divisible by 32. So sizes like 960, 1024, 768, 544, 576, etc.
This is Captain Elias Gray, welcoming you to another voyage of stories from the seven seas. This is Captain Elias.
I created several more clips the same way.
Ahoy there, friends! Come aboard and make yourselves comfortable. This is Captain Elias Gray, welcoming you to another voyage of stories from the seven seas. Even at night, the sea has its stories. Come closer, friends. Let me tell you what happened under these very stars many years ago. These lines on the chart, they don't just show the way. They remember every storm, every lost ship, and every sailor who made it through. There's nothing better than a quiet moment and a good story. Let me tell you one that always warms my heart. All these years at sea, and the best treasures were never gold. They were the stories. Some nights the sea speaks to you, not with waves, but with silence. And in that silence,
This is my computer, an RTX 5080 with 16 gigabytes VRAM and 32 gigabytes of system RAM. It won't handle LoRA training comfortably, or it will be extremely slow. There are successful examples on 64 gigabytes RAM, but with heavy optimizations. 32 gigabytes is just too little. I'm going to use RunPod. That's why I'll downscale the videos to 960 by 544 to save both time and money. I hope this resolution will be enough. The main thing is that width and height are multiples of 32. So I have 13 short clips. I think this should be sufficient. I signed up on RunPod, topped up my balance, and now I'm on the machine selection page. For my goal, I'm going to use this machine, RTX Pro 6000 with 96 gigabytes of RAM and 188 gigabytes of RAM. I'm currently in the Pods menu. I trained the LoRA on this machine, but at the moment of recording, as you can see, it's busy. It may become available at any time. So I'll show the training process on another machine with similar specs. Everything is the same. Just know that the actual training was done on the RTX Pro 6000. I've selected the machine, and now I need to choose the template created by the developer named Ostris. By default, there's a different template. I click Change Template. In the search bar, I type Ostris. Here it is. Pay attention. The official, verified template from Ostris. In the video description, I'll leave his referral link for registering on RunPod. It's a small thank you for his work. If you sign up using this referral link, Ostris will get a small bonus and you'll receive extra credits to your balance. Immediately change the password so no one else can access your trainings. Click Edit. Click the drop-down list. The default password is password. Change it to your own and save the settings. Next, click on Volume Disk. By default, it adds 50 gigabytes of storage. You can choose the amount you need. The point is that when the machine is stopped, the storage remains reserved for you for a small fee until you fully terminate it. This storage is tied to this machine, but when you stop the machine, the storage continues to work. To completely stop the storage, click the Terminate button. Nothing else needs to be changed. I click Deploy. The machine is preparing. Now it's ready. The browser link appeared and the green button is on. Paid time has started. I click the link and get to the AI Toolkit page. Here I need to enter the password we set earlier. Here's the training template from Ostris. First, I need to create a new dataset and upload my clips there. I name it Sailor. Click Create. Now I simply drag and drop all my clips here. They take a moment to upload. Everything is uploaded.
come aboard and make yourselves comfortable.
Now I need to create captions. I just write, Elias Gray says, "Ahoy there, friends. Come aboard and make yourselves comfortable." The model learns the name very well, so I think using the name is enough. It's important to write exactly what the character says. If he uses any unique phrases, write them exactly as they are. That's part of the character's personality. To save time on captions, I prepared the text in Notepad++ in advance, and now I just copy and paste it. If the character makes any special movements, you can also add that to the description, but I simply write Elias Gray says. Here I specify that the character is wearing glasses, so the model doesn't treat them as a permanent part of the look. They're just an occasional prop.
These lines on the chart.
So the dataset is ready. Let's go to the New Job tab. Here we give our LoRA a name. We select the LTX-2.3 model. Next, we leave everything in this block as default. In this field, you need to set the number of steps. For video, it should be higher than for images because the model needs to learn more data. Not just the character's appearance, but also his movement style, voice, intonations, and much more. At first, I set 10,000 steps, but then, to save money, I stopped the training and decided to try 5,000 steps, and later, you'll see the result. Next, everything in this block is default. The only thing, make sure to enable caching. It also saves time. I have only one dataset and it's already selected. Here I'll set automatic frame count. You can leave 512 and 768 here. Later I changed these values to 256 and 512, and you'll see that the model trains really well even on 512. The next block is intermediate sample generation. This lets you see how the training is going, but it increases training time. I'll do it for you. I set the resolution for intermediate samples to 1024 by 576 pixels. Next, I need to write a few prompts. In one prompt, the captain's monkey jumps onto the table. He will also pour tea into a cup, etc. These scenes weren't in the data set, so we'll see how well the trained LoRA handles them. Everything is ready. I click the green Create Job button. And I click the arrow to start the training. The training has started. Now we just need to be patient and watch the process. Some time has passed and I stopped this training. I changed the number of steps to 5,000 and started it again. And here I set the values to 256 and 512. Here's the very first sample at. And there's still nothing resembling my sailor yet.
It has guided me through more
But we've only gone through a
storms than
very
I
small
can
number of
count.
steps. Let's see what the model produces at 1,250 steps out of 5,000. By the way, you can download all the intermediate models.
Ah, my faithful spyglass. Many distant shores I've seen through these lenses. Ah, my faithful...
The similarity isn't great yet, but something is already starting to take shape.
It has guided me through more storms than I can count. It has...
Here the voice and appearance are already becoming similar.
Talking with you always makes my throat dry. Let me pour myself some hot tea. Talking with you always makes my throat...
This is at 1,250 steps.
Well, look who decided to join us. This little rascal is Charlie. Well...
Let's go back to the training process. We've reached 2,000 steps. The similarity is getting better and better.
Talking with you always makes my throat dry. Let me pour myself some hot tea. Talking with you Well, look who decided to join us. This little rascal is Charlie. Well, it has guided me through more storms than I can count.
This is at 2,000 steps. Generating one sample takes about 4 minutes. I have 5 prompts, so that's an extra 20 minutes of machine time for every 250 steps. For example, 1,250 steps, then 1,500, 1,750, and so on up to 5,000. In total, generating the intermediate samples alone takes about 6 hours. I think you can easily skip this and leave just 1 or 2 prompts. In the settings, set sample generation every 1,000 steps instead of every 250, or turn it off completely. Then the machine time will only be spent on actual training.
It has guided me through more storms than I can count.
This is at 2,250 steps. In the end, my LoRA was trained for 4,750 steps, just 250 steps short of 5,000. I ran out of money. The training for 4,750 steps cost me about $10. If I hadn't generated intermediate samples, it would have been much cheaper. Most of the time was spent on generating the samples. Now let's evaluate the result. Don't forget, after the training is finished and you've saved your LoRAs to disk, stop the machine and terminate the storage. Now let's test the LoRA in ComfyUI. I open the Templates tab. In the search bar, I type LTX. We need this workflow, text to video. I launch it. The node is highlighted red with error messages. I need to reselect my models so the paths are correct. I select the models. I press F5 to reload the page. Now everything is working without errors. I change it to the prompt with the monkey. Resolution 1000, 920 by 1080 pixels. Let's keep the duration at 5 seconds. I go inside the workflow by clicking the icon in the top right corner. Now I need to add my LoRA. I select it. Here it is, the one trained for 4,750 steps. Strength will be 1. Later I reduce the strength to 0.7. I connect the nodes. I leave everything else as default. Here's the result of the very first generation.
This little rascal is Charlie. He's been sailing with me for 7 years now. This little rascal is Charlie. He's been sailing with me for 7 years now. This little rascal is
Some weird subtitles appeared here. I think we need to specify more clearly in the prompt that there should be no text at the bottom. The sailor is definitely the right one. The voice and intonation are also very close. The monkey raises some questions, but overall it's not bad. Another variation.
Well, look who decided to join us. This little rascal is Charlie. He's been sailing with me for 7 years. Well, look.
Version with T. For some reason, even with the prompt, the model still tries to generate subtitles. Need to figure that out.
Talking with you always makes my throat dry. Let me pour myself some hot tea. Talking with you always makes my...
But here it worked without subtitles. Apparently, you need to strengthen the prompt if subtitles start appearing.
throat dry. Let me pour myself some hot tea. Talking with you always makes my...
So I think even at 5,000 steps, the task was completed successfully. But if you train for at least 7,000 steps and choose at least 768 pixels instead of 512, I think the result will really impress you. And now let's quickly install the toolkit on the computer to run the training locally. We go to Tavris 1's page. The link will be in the description. Download the installer. Extract it and run the file. Allow the installation. And wait for the installation to finish. The program installs everything into a separate folder, creating a portable version, and doesn't mess up anything else on your system. We go to Drive C, because by default, Toolkit installs there. Run the .bat file. And here we are. From here on, everything is the same as at the beginning of the lesson. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel.
Well, look who decided to join us. This little rascal is Charlie. He's been sailing with me for 7 years. Well, look, talking with you always makes my throat dry. Let me pour myself some hot tea.